It's not the same thing as having relationship skills, right? It is two completely separate things. And the way Red Pill talk about it is kind of like, well, you know, I was rich and I have a six-pack. Why did this girl leave me? It's ridiculous. What the hell? What the hell? Well, maybe you're just a piece of shit, bro. If I'm dating a girl, what should I look for? It's like, for me, it's like, okay, you know what? Hand to God. It's just, is this someone where if I got into an argument with them, or if we got into an argument over something, would we be able to navigate it properly? Could we navigate it in a healthy way, or would it just turn into a screaming match and a competition? First and foremost, being nice to your partner isn't like shouldn't necessarily be seen as a currency. You should just be nice to your partner because it's the responsible thing to do. And if someone isn't being nice to you or reciprocating it or working with you, then that's a red flag in itself. Okay, I've seen this video doing the rounds and I just decided I'm going to watch it and give my commentary on it because I've seen this whole story on social media, Megan Thee Stallion against this guy. I think it was like basketball player or something like that. I'll be honest, I don't really know the guy, Clay Thomas. Apparently he cheated on her and there's a lot of conversations about it. There's also the red pill take here, which they're going to go into. There's another side I want to discuss, which people sort of seem to be missing, but we'll break it down bit by bit. So let's just hit play and we'll go from there.
Cheated on Megan Thee Stallion? Cheated on Megan Thee Stallion. Have you lost your mind?
Well, one of the things I want to jump out first of all is a lot of these TikToks, it's embarrassing the level of performance that's going into it. Like, it's real clear that these are not actual people reacting. Like it's an overdone, oh my God, the drama. It's too much for me. I think it's a bit cringe, but it serves a purpose. It gets views and obviously people are following it. But I'll discuss my point afterwards.
Like that angle is crazy.
That is a crazy angle, yes.
Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion. Huh? Oh my God.
You see what I mean about cringe? It's very overdone. I don't like it. If you can act, act. If you can't, don't.
It's not just like sympathy for her or like, hey, I want to be supportive of my favorite artist. It's incredulous. Like, how could that happen to her? Even dudes, like dudes doing this is mad cringe to me.
They can't be a Stallion.
On Megan Thee Stallion?
Yeah, this guy.
On Megan Thee Stallion! You mean to tell me you can sit camera on me? On Megan Thee Stallion!
Right, okay, here's where I'm going to jump in a little bit because I'm going to sort of skip ahead in terms of where they're going with this. They're commenting on the red pill angle of it, sort of saying, you know, women with power, you know, fame, celebrity, and how could this guy have cheated on her, blah, 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 blah. People have this really bizarre idea that, like, when you first start seeing someone, obviously there's a chemistry and there's a connection there. And let's just say, for example, you meet someone and they have power and they have status. There's the euphoria that comes from that. It's like, oh my God, I'm dating this particular person. The problem is, though, and the reality is that after a while, that facade starts to fade. You're left with the raw human being underneath. And for a lot of people, that's challenging and difficult because it means now you have to put in work. You have to make an effort. Seeing you at your worst, you're seeing them at them worst. Or maybe it's the little thing that start to bother you and start to rub the wrong way. And that's where communication skills and whatnot come into it.
Come on, it's a bit.
No, I appreciate it. There was a camera angles and stuff like that, synchronization.
Okay.
The edit.
Yeah, you appreciate it?
Good work.
On Megan Thee Stallion? On Megan Thee Stallion? Yo, is this camera on me?
You got to switch to the other one.
On Megan Thee Stallion?
Be Megan Thee Stallion, stunning, gorgeous, successful, talented, and still be cheated on. Every time I open my TikTok, she was posting a video being
right. Okay. Yeah. Again, kind of going into here. Oh my God, she was all this, she was all that, and she still got cheated on. I'm not at all making excuses for cheating. Like, cheating is wrong, period. You know, if you're not happy, communicate it and figure out an amicable breakup. But the angle that's sort of taken here is, oh my God, she was perfect and he left her. It's like, no, she wasn't. And it's not about being perfect. It's not about like what you see, all the things that tick the boxes. Oh my God, well, she was beautiful. She had money. She had fame and he still left her. Oh my God, men can't be pleased. No, she's a human being. She's a person. She has a personality. Okay. She has a dark side. She has a good side. She has habits. And when you're living with someone in close proximity, especially when you're intimate with them and very close to them, things can wear on you. Things become irritating. Little things that I do every day would bother my partner. Things my partner does every day would eventually bother me. That's why communication is important. I'm not looking at this and thinking to myself, oh my God, this person and everything, and this goes to prove how shallow men are, how shallow women are. I look at this and I think to myself, this is a couple who couldn't communicate.
Like, oh, I'm surprising my man, or I'm cooking for his family, or
These are like very constant themes that kept running through a lot of the reaction, which is just like, how could that happen to her? And it makes me think of, we did that other video on that 20-year-old life coach, Wizard Liz.
Yes.
How could anyone cheat on someone so beautiful? The same commentary we had back then was, since when did being attractive or successful buy you loyalty, fidelity, guarantee that the people you're going to attract are going to have strong moral character, values?
This is true. This is true. Yeah. And some people sort of say things like, oh, she was nice to him, or he was nice to her, and she cooked for him, or he did this for her. It's like, first and foremost, being nice to your partner shouldn't necessarily be seen as a currency. You should just be nice to your partner because it's the responsible thing to do. And if someone isn't being nice to you or reciprocating it or working with you, then that's a red flag in itself. It's not, he was nice to you, therefore this. It's like, well, no, you should be both kind to each other. And if you're not being kind to each other, you need to figure out why that is. Okay?
Healed themselves, you know? Obviously, when someone gets cheated on, that's not their fault in that the other person's behavior is on them.
Absolutely.
I think it's always healthy when you're looking at somebody as a potential mate or whatever it is, to really look at their lifestyle and say, is that compatible with me? Is this like...
I agree 1,000%. 1,000%. I say it all the time. It's like when you have people basically saying, oh, look at my new guy, here's what he does for a living, and there's a checklist of all the things about it which they think, oh, it works. It's like, okay, cool. What's he like as a person? Like, if you got into an argument with this person, is the way you interact together compatible, or will it just escalate? Like, is this guy someone who can be told when he's wrong? How does can he accept when he's wrong? How does he manage being told that you think he's wrong? How does she manage being told that you think she's wrong?
Like an environment that's conducive for behaviors that I think are worthy in a partner. And ironically enough, that's never part of the discourse. The discourse is she's successful. She makes so much money. Megan the Stallion.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. She was so hot. He was so good at this. He was so wealthy. She was like, had 500 million followers on Instagram. It's always these checkpoints. Like, social media tells me this person was fantastic and you did this to her. Social media tells me this guy was the fucking GOAT and yet she did this to him. Okay, what's the person like when you're at home with them? Okay, what if you're having an argument because the kid got into a fight at school and you're trying to figure out how to manage it? Are you able to figure that out? Are you able to discuss these things properly? If your partner has a habit you don't like, can you bring it up with them? Can you find ways of managing it? Can you work through these things? And a lot of the times, no one has this conversation. And I feel like now I'm repeating myself. But to me, whenever I hear about this sort of shit, that's what I start to think,
And, she's fucking gorgeous. So, like, the status, money, and looks. And I'm not going to lie to you. If you just fucking switch that gender, you think you're talking to red pillars. Because those are the three things that they say that every man needs in order to get his outcome.
The LMS triad, looks, money, status. How do you rank those?
Every woman is different. Some women might prioritize looks and then money behind that. Some girls prioritize status, then money behind that. Or some girls go status, then looks after that.
Be Megan the Stallion. Stunning, gorgeous, successful, talented, and still be cheated on. Gorgeous, successful, talented.
Looks, money, status.
Well, they say it because it gets, quite frankly, it gets clicks and stuff. I mean, red pill are always hard. I mean, there are things that red pill say I don't necessarily disagree with. Like, as a guy, if you want to increase your chances, it's not absolute, but if you want to increase your chances of getting a girl or finding a girl, being, well presentable, good looking, well dressed, good job, good money, and having status, in other words, people know you and say good things about you, will 1,000% help your chances. 1,000%, absolutely, versus someone who has none of those things. That's night and day. But that's not the same thing as being good in a relationship. It's not the same thing as having relationship skills, right? It is two completely separate things. And the way Red Pill talk about it is kind of like, well, I was rich and I have a six-pack. Why did this girl leave me? It's ridiculous. What the hell? Well, maybe you're just a piece of shit, bro. Maybe honest to God, your day-to-day personality is just terrible and they couldn't work with you. You know? The vibe eventually changes, and that's why it requires work. It requires effort. You have to work at these things. It's a skill in itself.
Those are the 3 things that they say that every man needs in order to get his outcome. And what do women tell those people all the time? What do they tell them? Yes, hello? You are speaking. I have a question for you. When it comes to relationships, do you feel like money, fame, and status buy you loyalty from somebody else? Those like 3 qualities. So someone who's attractive, someone who's got...
I'm really not sure. We're just calling from your bank in regards to a dispute that you have filed.
Okay, that's fair. The only reason why is because I was just in the middle of a stream, so that's why I figured maybe I'll throw the question at you, but my apologies. Is it possible I call you back?
Sure, thank you.
Okay, all right. She was not having none of that shit.
None of it. She's like, yeah, I don't care about none of that. Can we please get to the business?
And I'm going to be honest with you. I'll be honest with y'all. I think I'm about to lose that dispute.
Yo, clip.
I think I'm about to lose some money because of
Y'all
that.
need to clip that shit.
Okay, so you guys better, hey, get a membership right now because I'm about to lose like $700.
This shit is...
Did that really just happen? I need to try that now. Next time someone calls me up trying to get me to buy cryptocurrency, I'm just going to start asking them random ass questions while I'm streaming.
The chargeback I should get.
Clip that shit.
She looked like she was annoyed as fuck. And you know what?
You think this is a game?
It's like, yeah, of course. She does that shit day in, day out. Can you imagine some of the responses she's getting? And there you are, like, excuse me, would you F a guy because of his looks, feeling, status, and money? Just, can we get on with the business, please, bro?
My job, nigga.
Stop.
My God, that was great.
Let me apologize. You're probably not watching right now, so this is all just a virtue signal. But I'm sorry, man. That was not right of me. You're just trying to do your job, and here I am turning you into content.
Yes.
And
It's too late to say sorry.
I did think it was
Justin
funny that
Bieber?
all these people echoed everything that red pillars would echo in regards to what they think should get you a partner for life.
They belong together. They belong
As much as like a lot of people complain about the red pill, Andrew Tate, like you see a lot of these ladies, they say the same.
Yeah, the pink pill, as I call it, is becoming a real thing now. I mean, it really is. I see it online all the time nowadays. It's a major, major thing. It's kind of like, it used to be back in when I was growing up in the early 2000s. The push was for more equality, like actual equality between men and women. Nowadays, women are literally like, no, a guy who asks for 50-50 is a weak loser and you should have nothing to do with him. And it's a little bit like, okay, well, if you're a middle-class person, right, what you're basically saying is that it doesn't work that way. Like a working on middle-class person, you could not have the dude paying all the mortgage and all the bills while the woman still works and contributes nothing. Like that is a recipe for resentment and disaster right there. It just is. I'm sorry, it just is. Not every guy is a multimillionaire. That's ridiculous.
Ideas. They just don't happen to have a... I didn't check, but I believe. So... like, we all seen it, right? All these red pillars talk about it. They're getting cheated on, or what ends up happening was we go behind the curtain. None of what they're portraying is real.
Red pillars get cheated on. Myron never got cheated on.
Yo, don't make me get my rollerblades. I think it's always a good idea, no matter what reason you break up for, to look at, okay, is there things here that I might have missed in terms of red flags? Fair? For example...
You mean the people in the relationship?
The person who got cheated on, the person who got dunked for whatever reason, or the person who, you might have been the one to just end the relationship for whatever reason.
Right.
I think it's always a good idea to be like, okay, we got to this end point.
Yeah, do a bit of a post-mortem. You have a conversation. You just be honest about it, You just sort of say, okay, what was it that pushed it to the end? More often than not, the problem I've found, especially with women, is the reason they leave is usually because of resentment. It's like, I've discussed the problem with you, I've communicated the issue with you over and over and over again, and the guy just isn't acting on it or processing it, or a lot of the times just dismisses it. And it's not out of anything bad. It's not like the guy doesn't give a fuck. It's just that in his head, he's thinking, I don't think this is such a big deal, and I don't think she'll leave. And it's not out of ego. It really is just out of a genuine sense of, I know I don't think it's that important, and I don't think it'll be there. And then suddenly one day she's just like, okay, boom, I've had enough. I've had enough. Like, you're not listening. I feel trapped. I feel lonely. I feel lonely in this relationship. I feel bored. I don't feel like you care. I don't feel like you're not listening to me. And that's typically when it hits. It's at some point, the resentment just causes a crack. And after that, it's done. And like I said, 9 times out of 10, it boils down to communication. It's people just been too afraid to or unable to just express and talk about the things that really matter to them in a way that's caring and honest. But you need both. You can't just be like, fuck you, I want this and you're not, because no one's going to respond well to that. People are just going to feel attacked and be like, get lost, just fuck that.
Did I end it fast or did I end it and I dragged this on? If so, like, what are the reasons they drag? There's a lot of things you can reflect on.
Basically, what you're saying is like, there's a lot of shit we don't know. Even if she's posting the fact, oh my God, she's cooking for the family. Oh my God, she's doing this, she's doing that.
Yeah, you have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. It's a TikTok video. You know what I mean? Like, you watch pictures of celebrities and look how happy they are, and then a week later they're filing for divorce. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Everyone knows this. Everyone knows when it comes to celebrities, when it comes to TikTok, when it comes to like social media, people present this idyllic idea of their lives when in the background, the house is burning down. Everyone knows this is true. And yet for some reason, everyone gets so shocked and surprised. I don't really think they are surprised. I think they're doing it for content, but that's not the point. Everyone always does this. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You just don't. Fact.
There's a lot of shit we don't know.
Yes. It almost is a bit sad that people think that, because I think internally it reflects what's projected outwardly in society. There's a reason why people are getting these plastic surgeries. There's a reason why people are fronting online and pretending to have much more wealth.
Yeah, I mean, for me, clavicular is just a classic example of this. Back like, I want to say early 2000s, late 90s, the pressure on women to look good, to be skinny and look attractive was insane. Actually insane. Like, girls were borderline killing themselves in order to stay in shape and to look good. Clavicular, as far as I'm concerned, is just like the male version of that. He is basically a model. He is like a glorified model who's like psychologically broken in a desperate attempt to look good to the opposite sex. Mainly because he was rejected and looked down upon when he was at high school, and he still hasn't been able to work through it. So right now, doing this shit he does to himself, putting himself out there the way he does, all the girls kind of like, obviously some of it's going to be performance coming for him, is all just a need to fill a hole that was left from a genuinely broken kid. That's what I see. And hey, his fans will disagree with me, but that is just what I see. When I look at him, that's there. That's what jumps out of me almost instantly.
They're taking all these pictures on these vacations they're not paying for, or tricking and not being honest about it. It's because if you project this idea of money, status, attractiveness, even with all these angles and fucking morphing your body, I think people, whether they want to admit it outwardly or not,
they think their life will just be better. I think it really is it. I think you've got a lot of very broken people in the world who just are desperate to feel seen and wanted. And I think it really boils down to that. In my opinion, I just think it literally just boils down to that.
Internally, they've all believed that if they attain these things, they're supposed to have that outcome of that ideal life.
Yeah, that's it. It's exactly it. It's kind of like when I got my first job. Like, I worked very hard. I went to college. I wanted to be working in the VFX industry, desperately wanted to work in the industry. I liked my job, don't get me wrong, but when I first got the job, or when I first moved abroad for work and actually started, lived in another country, there were certain milestones I wanted to have when I was younger, and I honest to God thought when I hit those milestones, there would be like a seismic shift in how I felt about myself and my psychology and how I viewed my relation with the world. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. I mean, I forget who said it, but there are no, I made it moments. Not really, because tomorrow morning, you still have to get up and get on with your life. It's not a film where it's like, they've made it, oh my God, they got out, and the credits roll and everyone's happy. No, you've got to wake up tomorrow morning. You've got to figure things out. You find the guy or girl who you want to marry. Okay, great, you're married. Okay, now you've got 30 years of working it out and managing it and dealing with it,
And so when they see Megan, they see the person who's at the spot, who has the things, and they're like, she's living the dream that we all want, and she got cheated on.
Yeah, that's it.
If they believe that, and then it's also true for the red pillars. If they get to the Tate level, then they're going to get the perfect life. But that's not what you guys say.
Yeah, it's like, look at all these guys, look at the Tates, look at this, look at that, and they're still getting screwed over by these girls. It's like, oh, well, he had money, he was in shape, he had status, you know what I mean? He had all these things, and yet the girls still, because it just goes to prove how, horrible and messed up these modern women really are. It's like, well, have you considered the possibility that maybe they just didn't like each other as people? Have you considered the possibility that there's some, you know, like, just because you're rich and have status doesn't mean that a girl's going to stick with you no matter what? Like, there are limits to what people will put up with. Have you considered that?
Right?
I mean, I feel like people are really obsessed with people, and they're like, and they really feel like, oh, this shouldn't happen to them. Like, yo, nobody's safe. What are you talking about? You put them on a pedestal like, oh, it's God, and then it wouldn't happen to God. God? God. It's a normal person. And again, all you guys are basing yourself on what you see online and what you see through the lens.
Okay, I think we're almost repeating ourselves now, so I'm going to stop it here and edit it up and make it feel a little bit less choppy and all over the place with me talking nonsense. But yeah, that basically pretty sums up exactly what I've been saying. It's at the end of the day, regardless of how much money you have, how well you dress, or how funny you are a person. And you're just a regular, deep down, you are just a regular guy or gal. And you have to navigate life. And maybe you find you're a special person. But hey, now you've found them, you're going to navigate that too. And sometimes it's not easy. And simply saying, well, I'm this person, how dare you? No, it's hard work. And you shouldn't expect it to be easy. And you have to put the time in. And you have to be careful to each other. And you have to take care of each other. And it's not always smooth. You've got to have rough patches. I've always said, should ever, you know, if the advice I give to people is, if you're single, you go, what kind of girl, if I'm dating a girl, what should I look for? It's like, for me, it's like, okay, you know what? Hand to God. It's just, is this someone where if I got into an argument with them, or if we got into an argument over something, would we be able to navigate it properly? Could we navigate it in a healthy way, or would it just turn into a screaming match and a competition? Because if it turns to a screaming match and a competition, then you may as well not bother, because that person's going to make your life hell. And it's not an attack on them to say that. Sometimes a person who's a good, decent, kind person who would make someone else very happy just doesn't work with you. You know, and it's maturity realizing that. Anyway, fuck it. We'll call it there. Thanks very much. And blah, 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 blah.